8 years they've been dating. Still no ring. I can understand how she could start feeling a little insecure about things, especially when he starts to feel a little on the distant side. She's wondering, okay, no ring, 8 years. Is he seeing somebody else? You and Bart went out with each other for a long time before getting married, but you never had these kind of insecurities at all?
No, we went, it was 11 years in. No, 10 years in, he proposed. At 11 years dating, we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've been married. I don't know anymore.
Kristen's having a cycle right now, man. She's like, I can't focus on anything. Man, I
Too much in my brain.
Yeah.
We were together for over a decade before he proposed.
But you also, like, sort of knew that it really wasn't important for you guys.
Exactly. We were on the same page, and everybody was like, kept asking. They thought I would be upset over the fact he hadn't proposed. And I was like, if we're going to go just full transparency, I'm like, no, it's actually better for my career to be unmarried because you come in this industry, it's all about youth. And I come like, as soon as you get married and have kids, people put you in this other like demographic. And so for me, I did it for my career, and we weren't interested in having kids at the moment. So we were perfectly content with the way things were. Then we actually started seriously talking about having a family. And my personal preference was, if we do that, I would prefer to be married. And so that's why you popped the question.
So who knows what the reasons why here that they're 8 years in and no ring, but she's starting to feel he's a little on the distant side, and she wants us to test him with To Catch a Cheater, War of the Roses, just to make sure dude doesn't have himself a little side piece going on.
Before I get to the actual reason that I'm writing to you, I just want to say that based on everything I've heard you say over the years, I already know that you will have opinions about my relationship.
I didn't even read the email, and we started that already.
My boyfriend and I have been together for 8 years. Yes, 8 years and no ring. I know it's dumb for me to keep waiting. I don't know. I guess I believe his promises that he'll eventually propose. There's always a reason why now is not a good time. Mm-hmm. Well, after waiting 8 years, I'm starting to think that now is never going to happen. The reason I'm starting to come to this conclusion is because I think that I am no longer the only person he is seeing. Recently, he started to become more distant from me. He no longer shares every part of his day with me. He no longer comes home right after work. He seems to find reasons for working late. However, the biggest red flag is that he no longer wants to be intimate with me. He used to be quite needy in that area, and now it seems rare that he initiates. And when I initiate it, it almost seems like he is doing it all just out of obligation.
Oh, that's the worst feeling when they're just going through the motions.
You're just Nike?
Yeah.
Having a Nike night.
So I'm really starting to think there might be someone else. And if there is, I will be so angry. Not only with him, but also with myself for wasting so many years thinking something will change. Can you help me with War of the Roses so that I know for certain and can finally convince myself to stop waiting? Bridget.
Well, you're right. I got opinions on it. So, I've always endorsed this silent line in the sand date that if marriage is important to you, and you have communicated that to him, and he waits and he waits and he waits rather than issue an ultimatum, which even if you get your way and he meets that ultimatum, you're always going to wonder, was he ever going to propose, or did he only propose because I put pressure on him? Have a silent line in the sand day, and if he meets it, fantastic. If not, bail on this dude. This is just the reason why here. As I've said before, I know too many women that have wasted their prime years, right? 10 years, 11 years with a guy, and then the dude wakes up, and all of a sudden he's like, you know what? Marriage is just not for me. She could have been finding Mr. Right for a decade. And this feels like the exact same example of that.
I don't know. I'm going to float another theory for Bridget because I was in the same boat as Kristen. My husband and I were together for 10 years before he proposed. But unlike Kristen, I was like, what are you waiting for? Like, what am I, chopped liver? Like, chop, chop. So the thing is, though, before he proposed, Chad started getting shady. He wouldn't let me on his phone. I picked up his phone to Google something. He's like, what are you doing? Put it down. I was like, whoa. He started being quiet, withdrawn, almost all of these symptoms. And it's because he was gearing up to propose. So he didn't want me on his phone seeing a confirmation email come in. So what if her dude is working late because he's ring shopping and he's going out to jewelers? What if they're not as intimate because he is super nervous that maybe she'll say no for some reason? What if he's becoming distant or like whatever because he doesn't want to slip up and let her know that he's going to propose because he's super nervous? Like maybe he's not cheating. Maybe he's ring shopping.
That was my theory that I was going to bring to the table.
Oh, yeah?
Because we've had this on the show before where a guy was really distant and it turns out he was planning the perfect proposal.
I feel like that would fit with almost everything there but the intimate part.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Like
that's as soon as he started with the distance and all that stuff, and I'm like, he's planning to propose. And then the intimacy thing got thrown in, and I'm like, that's a little bit odd.
All right, we got questions that we can get answered tonight. So we'll do War of the Roses. We'll send him the fake flowers, see if he sends them to her or sends them to somebody else. And if so, then we got a whole different set of circumstances to deal with.
The Bert Show.
Is he cheating or not? Because they have been dating for 8 years and she's got no ring. 0 ring, not a ring. And now she's starting to think he's invested in another woman, and she wanted our help last night to get to the truth by doing the Bert Shows to Catch a Cheater War of the Roses. Hey, Bridget.
Hey.
Hey, in a couple of minutes, we'll tell you the results of what we found last night. But bring us up to speed here. So 8 years now, no ring. Have you made it perfectly known to him? Like, hey, just want to let you know being married is kind of an important thing to me.
I used to. I used to do a whole lot more than what I do now, obviously. I feel like he knows that I think marriage is important. And, I told him, after 9 years, it might be time to, settle down and, because what else are we doing,
Mm-hmm.
So you did say that to him?
I did.
And what was his reaction?
When the time is right. We can't afford it right now. That's really it. The time will come, the season will come.
Been damn near a decade.
Yeah, right? When is the time?
Right. There's not going to be a time, right? If you gave him an ultimatum, do you think that he would take you up on that? Or do you think, no, he'd pass on that also?
Man, I'm about to cry. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm a big old fan of those line in the sand days, where you just have this date in your head. You never tell him about it, but if he meets that date and he proposes, that's great. And if he doesn't, you just bail. I mean, it's already 8-9 years now. What?
Why don't you propose to him?
I see that a lot on Instagram, and that's just really not me. No, that's not really my style. I think I'm a little more traditional, in a sense. And before you say anything, yes, I know being together for almost 9 years is not really traditional.
That's a good point. I wouldn't have thought of that, but it is a good point.
I just don't see myself no, that's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. I know I had a follow-up here, and I can't remember what it is now. Oh, yeah. So you said that you feel like there's some distance now in a way that you haven't felt before.
Yeah. So, it's I don't know. I guess they say, it's all the little things that add up to, one big thing. So, he's working late, quote unquote, more. He doesn't share, the details of his day with me. Really, it feels like ever. And maybe that's just a pillar of truth that I've established in my head, but that's just what it feels like. We're just not communicating on the same levels. And then the big one is sex. We're really no longer intimate. And when we are, because I will initiate that, it almost feels like he's doing it out of obligation and not necessarily he just doesn't feel like he's in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Have you attempted to talk to him about it?
Yeah. I have hey, is everything okay? That was, you always do your little pep talk after, oh, that was really good. I like you do that. And he's just yeah. And then it's are you okay? And it's, oh, work is on my mind. I'm really stressed out. And I've even offered to send him to I feel like I have to put a caveat on this. A regular masseuse, not like one with like a happy ending.
A massage therapist, a
Yes.
legit one with a certificate on the wall and everything. Okay, so you wanted us to test him last night with War of the Roses just to see and make sure that you were still the number one because you were feeling this distance. So we did test him last night, and Cassie here has the results.
We sent a fake promotional email to the email address that Bridget, you provided us. He was offered a free bouquet of flowers and was able to choose from several options with pictures. Everything is a bouquet. Cheer anyone up with this bouquet of pink carnations, orange tulips, and white anemones and pink roses. Their day will instantly approve upon this bouquet's arrival. To bloom, it may concern. A bright, bold mix of roses, lilies, snapdragons, and button pompons is the perfect bouquet to send to any business colleague for any reason. You're simply irresistible. Bright and bold purple irises are the real showstopper in this mix. You won't be able to take your eyes off this bouquet, just like its recipient. And bloom chicka bow wow, 24 long-stemmed roses, our most passionate bouquet for your one and only. In exchange, he was asked to share 10 promo codes for 30% off a future order with his friends and family. The first email was sent at 9:42 a.m. He ordered flowers at 11:57 a.m. He set delivery for Thursday morning, today, to a work address. He chose Bloom Chicka Bow Wow. 24 long-stemmed roses, our most passionate bouquet for your one and only. And the note on the card said, just wanted to tell you, I love you. Have a great day. And Bridget, he's sending these to you.
Oh my God.
Unless his side piece's name is Bridget.
That would make things convenient.
That's smart, indeed.
No.
You've been searching high and low.
Yeah.
No, this is really great news. Okay, so, I mean, you got some stuff going on there to think about. I mean, if you're ready for marriage, then that's another conversation. But at least based on this, dude's in love with you, loyal to you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This is good news.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, is there another girl named Bridget?
No, there's
there's
not. See what you did?
I don't know how long he's been acting like this, but Kristen and I did float a theory yesterday that perhaps he is nervous and closed off and doing stuff after work and not sharing his day because he is engagement ring shopping and he may be planning a proposal.
But why are you going to
Bridget.
plan that, though? Why are you going to plant that seed, though? He might not be. So
Because
now
she's
every day
great.
she's going to wake up. He's like, I bet today's the day, Cassie saw it. He's been looking.
Yeah, I got her waiting for another
sad.
Bridget and now a ring. It's not the way it's supposed to
And
go.
maybe he's shopping for a ring for the other Bridget.
Listen, what? You think you get a 2-for-1 special?
Hey, Bridget, the dude loves you. Clearly, you're number one on his mind. Maybe Cassie is right, but look, as far as this test goes, passed. A+.
I am so happy.
We're happy
Good.
for you.
And now you should be more confident telling them how you really feel. Communicate with them.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. All right, now go back to your man, okay?
And order yourself some flowers because we're not sending them.
Right,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. We don't send those. So. See ya. Bye-bye.
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get The Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.